Hello, welcome back to IMPWR Academy. I'm Kameron Davis, and I'm your host. I have a new Design Essentials video for you. This will be Design Essentials number 2. Basically, today we will be drawing an image out of shapes in Illustrator. So we're really going to go through all the shapes that are in Illustrator, and I will show you how to use them, how to move stuff around, how to manipulate them, and then you'll be able to kind of make things out of these shapes. So hopefully building on to some logo design, actual essential needed information. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I already have the stage put together for us. This is what we're working with today. So basically I have put together an image that will allow us to use most, if not all, the shapes that are in Adobe Illustrator. This is a little quick drawing that I put together of a firework, some clouds, a fence. We'll put a backdrop in there too, and kind of a foreground. So let's go ahead and get started. So when you go over to Illustrator, there is this button, and this button, if you hold down, will show all of the shape tools that you have. So rectangle tool, rounded rectangle tool, ellipse tool, polygon tool, star tool, and there's also this flare tool. It's kind of weird. And then if you come over to this line segment and hold down, you have line segment, arc tool, spiral tool, rectangular grid tool, and a polar grid tool. I have not used these grid tools before. I've played with the top 3 though. So today what we're going to do is we are going to take this image. So this is just a screenshot. I drew a picture, I scanned it in, and then I took a screenshot to put it on the artboard. So I want to show you how to go in and make this a template on our artboard. So if you double click your layer and go into the layer options and click template, it'll dim your image and then also lock it so that you can't accidentally move it around or draw on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to open one more layer, and this is where we'll play around on today. So where I want to start is with the clouds. We're going to start with the clouds. Something pretty simple. So we're going to go over to our shapes. I'm going to grab the ellipse tool. So the way the ellipse works is when you click and hold, it'll draw a circle. That circle is not all the way around when you hold on to your mouse. But if you hold shift while you're clicking and holding, it'll keep it a perfect circle no matter what size. So this is my bread and butter. Shift and hold and click is basically what you'll use a lot. Sometimes you'll want an ellipse, but most of the time you're just right here. So that's how you kind of draw your shape. Another quick button is to hold. So you click on your mouse, and then you hold shift, and then you hold, if you have a Mac, you hold option, and then that'll allow you to kind of lock the circle in and then make it bigger or smaller from there. So again, bread and butter, you will probably use this a lot. So let's start with this cloud over here. Circle kind of already fits pretty perfectly. Let's go ahead and switch to a stroke so we can see the outside of the circle. I'm going to make it 3 points here, and I'm going to punch out the back. So I'm going to take the fill out by clicking this no fill button right here. So I am going to resize it. I'm going to hold another quick button press is to hold option and click and drag, and it'll allow you to make a copy of your circle on the fly. So click, hold, option, click and drag. It'll allow you to make more copies of your circle. So Also, if you wanted to make copies of your circle, you can just do the old-fashioned way and go Command C and then Command V, and it'll give you another copy of your circle. So those are two ways to be able to do that. So we will start trying to hit all the the sides of our all the sides of our cloud. So let's say that is good. So you might wonder what I'm going to do about this overhang. I'm going to click my circle, go over to the white arrow, click this anchor point, and then click delete. So that cuts my circle in half, and it now fits in with these other ones. So I am going to now select with the black arrow all of my circles, and I'm going to go over to the Pathfinder and click Unite. So by clicking Unite, it puts all of our circles together. And now I have a cloud. I have one single cloud. So we are going to take this cloud for time's sake and just make copies of it to fill in our other cloud spots. Cloud, smaller cloud. And we'll change the color later. I'm going to actually add a background to this when we get there. But for right now, cloud, cloud, cloud. Let's go on to the fence next. We are going to, let's take our fill out again. So we'll click the button with the red line through it. And then we will go, whoop, I had the cloud selected. So I'm going to want to click off the cloud. And then come over here, click the red line, and then switch to my stroke and make it black. So this is so I'll be able to see our next shape. So let's go with the fence. I am going to take and make a rectangle. So this fence is basically 5 rectangles. So we are going to take and make a rectangle here. And then just make a rectangle here, a rectangle here, here, make one last rectangle. So the sizes don't really matter. This is more to just get practice with the shape. The first thing, you see how the fence curves off like this? I made it like that for a reason so that we can come in and get some more practice with the corners of our shape. So basically this is a corner you can manipulate. So basically you come in here, this target looking spot you click on, and it should change color like that. And now you have this corner selected. So if I click and hold and drag, it will reshape to, it'll round out that corner. So, and it is equivalent to this, but most of the time I just do it to what it looks like, unless I'm trying to keep all the corners the same size. So let's go to the next one. We'll want to select this corner, click on the target, it'll change colors, and then we'll right click and drag, and it'll round that out. Let's do that to the rest of these. Boom. Now we have our fence. So let's go in. Let's black arrow select all of our fence pieces. And we are going to change them from a stroke into a fill. So you can also use this button right here if you have it on a stroke and you want to switch it to a fill. This button swaps the fill and the stroke. So it'll go back and forth. So we're going to fill in the fence. Let's color it red for now. We're going to have a red fence. I want all these to touch, so I'm just going to move them over a little bit. All right. So let's talk next about our line segment tool. So this horizon line right here, we are going to go ahead and click on our line segment tool. We're going to click and drag from one end of the screen to the other. And then if I want this to be a straight line, I hold down Shift. If I don't want it to be a straight line, I can just drop it wherever. But, excuse me, I kind of want this to be a straight line. So I'm going to hold down Shift and let go. So now we have a line segment, but it has no stroke and no fill. So I'm going to click on the stroke side and click on a color. So let's go with black, and we'll raise the weight a little bit. And then I also want it to be below the fence. So we're going to put it right about there. Okay. So we're getting there. Next up, probably the most challenging is going to be this rocket. For the rocket, we are going to start with the triangle at the top. We're going to go over to this shape button, go down to the star tool, and we are going to right click and drag. So with the star tool, there is a shortcut to picking how many sides you have in your star. So if I want 3 sides, I go to my D-pad on my keyboard and I press down, 1, 2, and now I have 3 sides instead of 5. So, and it gives you a perfect equal sided triangle. So I'm going to take this triangle, now that we have it, and I am going to put it right here on our rocket, and then also resize it. So if I needed to spin this triangle or rotate this triangle, I would come off of our box and I would turn here. Click and rotate. If you hold Shift, it does it by 45 degrees at a time. So that's an important little tidbit right there. So, but this is how we want it. I'll even drop it down a little bit so it fits even closer. So we have our triangle for the top. Let's go back to our rectangle, and we are going to, let's see, how do I want to do this? So let's make our rectangle down here first. Make our rectangle down here. For this body, I want to make things easy, we're going to take and make a rectangle here. And then we are going to come here, click. And so I just selected these 2 corners, and I'm going to grab the segment in between, and I'm going to drop it down. So just about there. I'm just picking, not really anything specific. Then I'm going to come and I'm going to Option right click to make a copy. And now I have 2 lines for our rocket. So I'm sure you're wondering how I'm going to make these other 2 pieces. We're just going to make them out of triangles. So let's take our triangle up top. We're going to select the whole thing and Option, make a copy. And then what I'm going to do is manipulate this triangle to, so it's another little trick. So we're going to take our triangle, we're going to take our white arrow, and we are going to manipulate this triangle to kind of fit this little spot right here. Boom. Now that's taken care of. Let's again, black arrow, select, option right click, make a copy, and we are going to come over to our transform panel. This is where I always come on the properties panel. So I'm just gonna flip it along the vertical axis and then flip it along the horizontal axis and then just pop it right here. It's a little shorter than I drew, but it'll work. We're gonna pull this up. Okay, so now let's make this part right here, which is the wick. Yeah, the wick. Let's make the wick out of, come over here to the arc tool. So we're gonna make this wick out of an arc. I right click and drag, and then drop when you think you got the arc that you want. Very easy. Arc tool is very easy to work with. And then for the kind of spark, we're gonna just use line segments. So click, drag, click, drag, click, drag, click, drag. Boom. Looks like it's on fire. So now let's go and fill in this rocket by switching the stroke with the fill. Switched. And then let's just make top of the rocket red, and then we'll make this stripe, let's make it white. Get rid of the stroke. Make this part red too. White. And I know the white won't show up very well yet, but when we go and make the background, it'll come in better. And we'll make this red. Drop that out. So let's make this like stick part, we'll make it, let's say, brown. And then the wick we'll leave black, and we'll make these also red, these line segments. Like they're on fire. Cool. All right, so let's go in and drop our background. So let's go back to the rectangle tool, and we're gonna come from this corner and pull down to our horizon line and drop. Right now it's a stroke, so that's why it came up like that. So let's do that like a teal color, and we'll switch from stroke to fill. And right now this is on the front, but we want to move it to the back. So basically we go to Object Arrange, and we'll go to Send to Back, and it sends it to the back. Same with, let's go ahead and do the foreground. Let's make this green like grass. And then we'll send that also. Object Arrange, Send to Back. So let's make these clouds white. We'll make this fence brown too. Brown. Or yeah, we'll go brown. Let's go ahead and drop a sun in here. Just go up to the corner, hold shift, get a perfect circle, and then turn that yellow. And there we go. There goes our first drawing using only shapes in Adobe Illustrator. So it's pretty fun. Let me know what you guys think. This is, again, Design Essentials Part 2. I want to keep doing these, at least drop one a week. Let me know how helpful these are. Let me know what I can do to kind of help you, the kind of information you need. I really want to make these as helpful as possible. Right now, you can follow us on at im.pwr on IG, so Instagram, and you can also follow us at on YouTube at IMPWR Academy. So whenever you guys get a chance, go ahead and check us out. I'm really trying to build this channel and come up with some really good videos to kind of help with the beginner. And then as I go and get through all the beginner type classes, we're going to go into some more advanced logo design. So just be on the lookout. It's just going to really depend on how fast I put these out. I'm going to keep trying to push through them. So let me know what I can do to help you. And I'm always here to help. So I appreciate you guys again watching this, and I'll be looking out for you next week. Thank you.